What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy Myron McRae, aka Tornado McRae, across the skies of the internet, here with another episode of Panthers Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. And guys, it is Friday. You made it to Friday. I'm happy for you. You know what? Good on you. Good job. Now I gotta ask you a question. Did you drink your water today? Be honest with me. Did you drink your water today? Because if you didn't, I'm just saying that's not very Panther-like of you. It's just not. But, guys, we're going to get into today's docket as we drink our water. And a few things have come up. Very first thing is that there are some key takeaways from Minicamp. As we all know, Minicamp concluded yesterday. If you don't know, now you do know. And training camp isn't set to start until July 15th. So we have a little bit of in-between time. Maybe it'll be a lull. I'll still put out content, obviously. But there might be a lull as to what's going on. However, here are some of the takeaways from the final day of minicamp that the Panthers put out on their official website. So, few takeaways they had. One, offensive lineman setting the pace after practice. Mike Jack making plays on the final day. Hunter Renfrow was out here showing his moves off against the secondary. Apparently, the Gators quartet helping each other enter the league. Then you had big competition for the wide receiver jobs. Also, Brandon Walton and Thomas Incan got into a scuffle. T-Mac was also out Wednesday and Thursday for precautionary reasons because he got into a collision on Tuesday, and the Panthers just sat him down just to make sure everything was good to go. And with those notes, the one that stuck out to me the most was the big competition for wide receiver jobs. According to reports that have been going out, Thielen, T-Mac, and Liggett have been the ones that have been running with the starters, the ones most consistently. Now, obviously, that leaves a 4 and a 5 slot when you go 4 wide and 5 wide out in the open, in the ether of who's going to be there. And usually, since those three slots are already taken, the Panthers generally only keep about 6 receivers in the 53-man roster. I hate the 53-man rule, if I'm being honest. That's just me. But if that's the case, that means there's only 3 more wide receiver slots available. And guys, that's like, when you look at the core that we have, the talent we have, that kind of hurts. You got Jalen Coker, David Moore. I'm going to just say it like that since I added an extra O. Dan Chisena, Hunter Renfrow, Jimmy Horn Jr., Bryson Tremaine, Kobe Hudson, TJ Luther, and Jacoby George. And I know some of y'all might be thinking, oh, it's easy. It's Coker, it's Moore, and Renfrow, or Coker, Moore, Horn, Coker, Renfrow, Horn. Like, I'll admit, I can see Coker's definitely that 4. That 5th guy is out in the air. That 5th and that 6th are the ones that are out in the air. And if I had to choose, I'm probably looking at Horn, Renfrow, or Moore, and actually, yeah, I'm probably looking at Horn and Renfrow if I'm making the choice, if it was just me. But the reason why I say this is deep talent, because like a Jalen Coker, you don't know what Kobe Hudson can do. TJ Luther could be a baller. Jacoby George could ball out. Bryson Tremaine could be one of them ones. Obviously, Dan Chisena, special teamist and everything like that. So, guys, that's a real hard decision. And Coach Canales even reiterates that because he was asked about it, and here's what he had to say. He said, I think it's going to be very difficult. I think that we're going to have to take it through the preseason games and see who can help us. And special teams is going to play a huge piece of that puzzle. How can these guys help us in the coverage units? How can they help us as a returner? Those things add value. And he followed that up by saying, if it's even, the special teamer makes the team. And so that's the part where we get to challenge our guys. Find a role. Take this thing seriously. You're not here just to catch passes. We only get so many helmets on game day. So we need all of you. We need you guys to contribute in different ways. Hey, I couldn't have said it better myself, Coach. You listen, Coach know what he be talking. I'm telling y'all, Coach know what he be talking about at times. But I honestly couldn't have said it better myself. And as I look at that receiver room, I think it is very hard. If it were up to me, and I know you can't, but even if you can't put everybody on the 53-man roster, I would hope they keep everybody even through practice squad. because of how talented these guys are and how much faith I believe in them. And that's just my 2 cents. I don't know who they're going to make on that 53-man cut, but I'm really looking forward to it. Next, I have to admit, our RB1, Chuba Hubbard, might have just sent a subtle shot at a former Panther. Hey, listen. So apparently, in a report put out by The Athletic, Chuba Hubbard was asked in regards to how he felt this year's running back room and this season feels as compared going into the last few years in that room. And here's what Chuba had to say. He said, oh, wrong clip. Oh, there it is. So Chuba said this: just the way we're practicing, the way we trust each other, the way we're communicating, it's starting to show. Just the more we practice, the more we play, the closer we're going to get and the better we're going to get. Usually in the running back room, sometimes it can be a little off. But everyone's cool in our room, and that's a blessing. I don't take that for granted. Now, I know some of you may be saying, hey, yo, that's kind of a reach, bro. Like, you're fishing too much, X, Y, and Z. And I could be. But I think there is a slight of shot there because let's think about it. Blackshear and Brooks are back in the room. Dowdle and ETN just got here. Who's the one guy here that's not here no more? Miles Sanders. Hey, that might have been a dig at Miles Sanders, bro. That just might have been a little dig like, hey, bro, you made the room uncomfortable. And we all know Miles Sanders was not happy with the way he went out here, losing his starting job as RB1, but also he wasn't really producing on the field. So I can't sit there and say it wasn't warranted for him to lose his job, but he definitely didn't feel like he belonged on the sidelines and it was awkward leaving. So, hey, hope he does well in Dallas, do his thing, and he kind of refoots himself. But I think we're in a good position, and I'm okay with it. If it was a little subtle shot, I'm okay with it. If I'm just reaching too much, hey, I'm okay with that too, because I got to entertain y'all somehow, some way. I don't know. And then lastly, guys, according to Bleacher Report, Carolina has 3 of the worst contracts heading into 2025. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't even know how this was possible. Maybe 1, but 3? 3? What? Like, you mean to tell me out of all, that's, bruh, all I had to say, when I saw this article, I was like, NANI? That's it. But here's what Bleacher Report had to say, man. They just literally, the 10 worst contracts they had going into the 2025 season are as follows. So I'm going to go from the bottom to the top, as I always do. Honorable mentions: Kirk Cousins, Robert Hunt, Trayvon Moehrig. At number 10, Chase Young for the Saints. Number 9, Ladarius Sneed for the Titans. Number 8, Bradley Chubb for Miami. Number 7, Brandon Ayuk for San Francisco. Number 6, J.C. Horn for us. Number 5, Tremaine Edmonds for Chicago. Number 4, Tua Tagovailoa. Number 3, Dan Moore Jr. for the Titans. Number 2, Dak Prescott. And number 1, Deshaun Watson. Now, first things first. How is J.C. Horn's contract worse than Kirk Cousins' contract? I don't know. I would have put Kirk Cousins right behind Deshaun Watson if you telling me, if you asking me, especially considering how so much of his contract is guaranteed money, and Atlanta's not even gonna have that man probably by the start of the year, or at least by the middle of the season. I'm just saying, bro. But JC, Robert Hunt, and Trayvon Moehrig, let's check out the explanation, because the article was put out by Christopher Knox, and here's what he had to say. First, we're gonna go with Robert Hunt. Here's what he had to say about Hunt. It's hard to knock the Carolina Panthers too much for some of their recent free agent signings because bad terms typically have to overpay to land top talent, or bad teams typically have to overpay to land top talent. That said, guard Robert Hunt wasn't exactly a star when Carolina gave him a 5-year, $100 million deal during the 2024 offseason. He was mostly a reliable starter, He was a mostly reliable starter, but missed time with a hamstring injury in 2023, and to that point had never made a Pro Bowl. Hunt did make the Pro Bowl with Carolina last season and was rated a respectable 37th overall among guards by Pro Football Focus. However, he has a long way to justify the deal that has him tied for fourth among guards in terms of annual salary. To me, that doesn't make sense because to me, that tells me we got ahead of the curve in terms of paying for Hunt. Like, we got ahead of the curve and paid him before he would have been entitled to more money. Like, very first season, he was 4 years in Miami. He doesn't do it. He doesn't make the Pro Bowl. He even got injured a little bit. He comes to Carolina, plays all the games, and then makes the Pro Bowl. So, yeah, like, go ahead and give him a little change because he's obviously getting better. And this may look like a smart move in the long run because, shoot, if he makes the Pro Bowl again and again, and we didn't pay him until after he's a 3-time Pro Bowler, now you really have to give him his bag. Now you really got to go even deeper in the bag. You know what I'm saying? And with inflation and the contracts continuously always on the rise, I honestly don't see how this made that list. But let's continue. The next one he said was Trayvon Moehrig. So here's what he had to say about Trayvon's paycheck. The Panthers overpaid again this offseason when they signed Trayvon Moehrig to a 3-year, $51 million deal. That includes $34.5 million guaranteed. The 26-year-old developed into a fairly reliable starter for the Las Vegas Raiders, but hasn't established himself as a top-tier player yet. Moehrig allowed an opposing passer rating of 92.5 in 2024 and was graded 59th overall among safeties by Pro Football Focus. To land him on the open market, Carolina made Moehrig the league's 6th highest paid safety in terms of yearly value and gave him more guaranteed money than all but 4 safeties. Okay, that one I can see a little bit more. Now, granted, Moehrig, again, I'm going to stick to my comment of you're paying him before you have to really pay him. I'm going to be consistent. You're paying him before you really have to pay him because if you wait until he is this top-tier level guy, then you're really going to be in your pocket. Then you're really going to have to fork out all that money. So that is where I stand. I see why he says, hey, yo, he's 59th and you made him the 5th highest paid guy with 34 that with more than half of that guaranteed. I can see that. I can see that. Do I agree with it? No. But I can see the argument that he made there. And then lastly, talked about J.C. Horn. And this was a longer snippet of what he had to say about J.C. Horn, a 2021 first-round pick out of South Carolina, was a Pro Bowler in 2024. However, while he had an impressive 13 passes defended last season, he also surrendered 6 touchdowns and allowed an opposing passer rating of 92.7 in coverage. Pro Football Focus graded Horn as the league's 82nd best corner overall for the 2024 season. 82nd? Yo! 82nd? That's disrespectful. What? Bro. What? Okay. Woo! Now, Horn is a quality starter who will turn just 26 in November. However, he's not truly elite, and he missed significant time in 2021 and 2023. Fair. With the foot and hamstring injuries, respectively. He played just 13 games in 2022 and 15 in 2024. When he signed an extension worth $25 million annually, he was at the time the league's highest-paid corner. In terms of yearly salary, Horn still ranks second among all corners in terms of annual value. And then he follows that up with this. Giving Horn such a massive deal after just one good and mostly healthy season was an unnecessary gamble. The contract might look reasonable in a few years, but that will require Horn to stay healthy and improve as a player. Carolina had the opportunity to allow Horn to further prove himself on the 5th-year option in 2025 and, if necessary, via the franchise tag in 2026. All right. That one makes the most sense. That one I can concede to him makes the most sense in terms of why you could see that being a bad contract because of how much time JC has missed and when he got paid. That is probably the one I will agree with, bro, the most. Like Hunt and Moehrig, I don't. But JC Horn, I can see it. Now, I'm following this up by saying when JC is healthy, oh, yeah, he one of them ones. I don't know why they got him ranked 82nd. When JC's healthy, JC's one of them guys. He's a lockdown corner for sure, in my humble opinion. Like, that's neither here nor there. And you got him ranked 82nd. Truthfully speaking, I think a lot of that also stems from the fact that the run game was so bad that corners are having to overcompensate and help in that regard. So then they're not even focused on their true nature of defending the pass and play action and so on and so forth. So I get it. I see it. But I don't necessarily agree with it to the 100%. Based off injury alone, yes. But when he's healthy, 82nd ranked corner by Pro Football, that's wild. That's wild. But hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion, man. That is what it is. But guys, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell at the bottom. That way you can always be notified of when I drop these videos. Also, be sure to comment below and let me know, what are your thoughts about the takeaway? What were some of your takeaways, or what do you think about like wide receiver cuts heading into this year? Who do you have as the remaining 3 wide receivers? I'm pretty sure most of you are going to say Coker. Y'all either going to say Coker, Renfrow, Horn, or Coker, Moore, Renfrow, Coker, Moore, Horn. I feel like that's the majority of what most of you are going to say. 2, do you think Chuba Hubbard sent the subtle shot at Miles Sanders? Are y'all glad we got rid of Miles Sanders? I know I am. And so on and so forth. And 3, do you think all 3 of these contracts are bad? Do you think we overpaid on any of these contracts? Do you think all of them are good, or anything in between? Let me know, guys, in the comment section below, because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all of you, Panther Nation. Take care. Later days. Have a great weekend. And as always, keep pounding. I'll see you next time.